Hi everyone, this is Christina from Yarrney. Welcome to this tutorial where we will be learning how to do a slip knot and chain. As a beginner in crochet, learning how to do a slip knot and chain will help you get started on multiple projects. They are both very easy to learn. We will be demonstrating two methods to do a slip knot, so feel free to use whichever method you are most comfortable with. Alright, let's start with the first method. We will be taking the tail end of our yarn and hang it over our hand, like so. What we want to do is create a little space between the index finger and the middle finger so that the tail end of the yarn can go over the working yarn. By working yarn, we mean the side that is linked to your ball of yarn. So as you can see, the tail end is going over the working yarn. You will be holding the tail end with your thumb, and you want to make a loop with the working yarn on your index finger. Now you will be holding both the tail end of the yarn and the working yarn with your thumb. As you can see, you have two loops on your index finger. Now you want to bring the back loop all the way over the front loop and the index finger, like so. Now you will release and tighten it with your index finger. So as you can see, you get a slip knot. You can adjust the size of your slip knot by pulling on your working yarn. Alright, let's look at this method one more time. You will take the tail end of your yarn, hang it over your hand, create a little space between the index and the middle finger so that the tail end of your yarn can go over your working yarn. You will hold the tail end with your thumb and create a second loop with the working yarn on your index finger. Now you will hold the working yarn and the tail end of the yarn with your thumb, and you want to take the back loop all the way over like so. Tighten it by pulling on the working yarn. This gives you a slip knot. Very easy, right? Now let's look at the second method. It's as easy as the first method. We will start with the tail end of the yarn. What we will do now is point our index finger, just like this. And taking the tail end of the yarn, we want to make two loops on the index finger. So one loop and then two loops. Now you will use your middle finger and your thumb to hold onto the tail end of the yarn. Now what you want to do is bring the back loop here, make it become the front loop, like this. Now this back loop will go over the finger, like so. And then we can tighten it by pulling on the working yarn. As you can see, this creates a slip knot, just like the first method. So let's demonstrate this one more time. You take the tail end of your yarn, point your index finger, make two loops on your index finger. Hold the tail end with your middle finger and your thumb. Bring the back loop to become the front loop. Now the newly formed back loop will go over your finger like this, and this forms your slip knot. So now with this slip knot, we will demonstrate how to do a chain. You will be taking your hook, insert it in this loop, and you can tighten the yarn so that it hugs the hook. It doesn't need to be super tight because otherwise it will be a little difficult to do a proper chain. And so you will want some tension on your working yarn. What I do is I roll my working yarn on my small finger, bring it over my hand, over the index finger, and then use my thumb and middle finger to hold on to the tail end. So this triangle here creates some tension so that I can work on my projects very easily. So in crochet, there is this term called yarn over, which means you will bring the hook under your working yarn, like so, and you see how the hook is holding onto the yarn. This is what yarn over means. So you will yarn over into the loop, and this is your first chain. So let's do this one more time. You will yarn over, bring the yarn over the loop, making your second chain. Yarn over, bringing the yarn into the loop, making your third chain. Yarn over, inside the loop, making your fourth chain. Let's do two more here. Yarn over, inside the loop, fifth chain, yarn over, bringing the yarn inside the loop, sixth chain. If I remove it from the hook, as you can see, this is what the chain will look like. One thing that is very nice with crochet is if you make a mistake, it's very easy to correct it. You simply pull on your working yarn and restart. So this is the end of our tutorial on how to do a slip knot and chain. I hope you enjoyed it, and make sure to stay tuned and watch our next video on how to do a magic ring. Thank you, everyone.